by Asma Baig. Principles of Women in Leadership and Their Rise as Business Leaders. About the author, Asma Baig is a pharmacist. She also has a degree of Master of Business Administration, MBA, and she is a mother of 4 children. Asma has studied and researched the field of science, pharmacy, homeopathy, writing, economics, history, business, management, leadership, philosophy, and psychology. She has developed a keen insight about relationships and how they affect businesses and personal lives. Asma's interest in writing and her experience in pharmaceutical industry, hospital, and retail pharmacy, where she held various positions, gave her an understanding about managing businesses of different sizes and have contributed to her expressions in this book. Asma's experience in India and the UK have added to her ability to compare different work situations, the problems faced by employees and management, and the push and pull factors that influence men and women to go forward or remain stagnant in their careers. Asma has interviewed women and men using questionnaires aimed at their level of ambition and career growth and attitudes towards women in leadership, the opportunities and challenges faced by women, and the personal factors that influence anyone to take on leadership roles. The issues faced by women within societies and organizations that allow or restrict the movement of women towards higher management positions, and the help available to women in terms of family support, qualifications, mentoring, finances, and the appreciation women get. Asma's appreciation of the gurus of economics, personal development, and superachievement has given her a unique ability to connect different opinions and theories and narrate them in simple everyday language to stimulate her reader's mind towards finding their own paths to success. Her study dates back to the teachings of Aristotle, 384 to 322 BC, the advisor to Alexander the Great, and recognized as one of the first teachers by many intellectuals today, to Chanakya, the royal political advisor and economist at the time of Emperor Chandragupta Maurya in India, around 200 to 300 years BC, to those of leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, 1869 to 1948 AD. Her study for the Masters in Business Administration at University Campus Suffolk, UCS in the UK, her interviews with women in leadership and working women, and her research about the concepts and debates around women business leadership in the last 30 to 40 years. Concepts applicable to 21st century businesses and leadership are selected and explained in the context of women in leadership in modern day businesses. This is a book in the Women in Leadership and Their Rise as Business Leaders series by Asma Baig. Disclaimer: this is not a book of religion, so should not be compared with any religious doctrines. These are the observations of women in leadership positions, the topic of leadership as understood so far, and how women can redefine leadership in businesses. Please take expert advice before using these principles in your lives and businesses. Consult health specialists, lawyers, bankers, and business consultants for individual problems. These are general guidelines that have worked for people in businesses and leadership, including some women leaders of the 21st century. It is not aimed at reducing women's roles as mothers and caretakers, but to extend these in businesses with a view to better management and leadership. I write this book about women in the 21st century and their gradual rise as business leaders. I write these principles to help all women seeking leadership with financial independence. I thank all the managers and women leading businesses for their time and input who agreed to be interviewed and who took time to answer and return the questionnaires on women in leadership. Respecting their views, identities are not revealed. Sources of direct information and statistical data have been duly acknowledged within the text. I thank my family for helping me with typing, formatting, and uploading this book. Asma Baig. Introduction. This book is about women of the 21st century and about the principles of leadership. The aim is that women may acquire the knowledge of the most celebrated principles of leadership in business and understand what leads them to excellence. Therefore, with an eye to the public good, I shall discuss roles of women in leadership and how they can influence businesses. Enhanced abilities of women and their fair recruitment, selection to board positions, and other top levels of management will provide solutions to complex issues faced by businesses today. This book aims to help more women become effective in their roles as business leaders and increase their abilities to achieve more through education, competencies, support, and access to resources, role models, networks, and analysis. Some basic principles are outlined for women seeking leadership positions. These principles are aimed at creating more women business leaders who can push their way to the top positions in businesses by focusing on certain aspects of their personalities and how they deal with other people and situations at home and at work. Changes in core beliefs required at individual, societal, and institutional levels towards extending women's roles from mothers and caretakers to business leaders can bring great results in the economies of their countries. 10 principles are developed to keep women focused on the basics required for leadership in businesses. These are related to safety, health, ambition, education, self-promotion, power, expansion, teams, contribution, and legacy in relation to women in leadership. The law of attraction and the law of reciprocity are briefly discussed as they might help women get whatever they truly desire and invest in. This book is all about extending women's talents and virtues in arenas of business and leadership and highlights that women can do an equally good job as men. The first 10 principles. Number 1, you're precious. 2, vibrant health, empowered minds. 3, reach for the sky. 4, outstanding experts. 5, self-promotion. 6, taking charge. 7, dynamic expansion. 8, robust teams. 9, generous contributions. 10, legacy that you leave behind. These principles, when followed voluntarily by everyone in favor of women business leaders, will help in allowing capable girls to grow up with safety, good health, and excellent careers. More girls will be able to get the best possible education, skills, and training needed to become leaders. This will help nations develop into robust and thriving business markets with good quality products and enhanced services provided by organizations that encourage more women towards leadership. This trend will enable more governments to question companies about their equal opportunities policies and link these policies with tax advantages or penalties. With a view to building ambition, self-enhancement, and self-promotion of girls and women towards leadership roles, these principles will improve mental, physical, and financial health of men and women. Encouragement from parents, schools, universities, spouses, relatives, and society in general to girls and women about taking on leadership roles at every level by rewards and awards will result in more businesses feeling comfortable about women in leadership. Financial independence of women will reduce mounting pressures on families and relationships that are still based on women being financially dependent on men as providers. This will help in increasing women's self-esteem, confidence, and understanding about their capabilities and contributions. Knowledge about basics of leadership, business, and management will encourage more women to confidently pursue business activities and bring fortunes to organizations and families. Principle 1. You're precious. You're precious, and so is every member of your family, neighborhood, and organization. Safety of women and everyone in their care is the first principle. Any woman who has given birth to a child and any person who has raised a child knows that safety of children is the first requirement for their growth and development. The reactions that parents show when their children are anywhere close to danger is proof that safety is paramount in their endeavors to raise children. A mother develops an instinct about safety for others the moment she becomes aware of carrying another life within her and her responsibility towards the child. I have 4 children born between 2001 and 2007. I used to freak out when I sensed any danger around my children. I used to change everything to have a safe environment around them. For example, if my jewelry hurt them while I carried them around, I stopped wearing jewelry. When they started to crawl, I was like a mad woman. I couldn't let them out of my sight in case they crawled out of an open door or fell off the bed. I had to have stair gates everywhere. I stopped using the upstairs bedroom and made a bedroom downstairs to avoid unnecessary accidents and falls. There were dangers about little fingers getting in doors, cupboards, and worst of all, near electrical switches. I had to learn to deal with danger at every step. You can never learn enough with other people's experiences. You have to involve your instinct, or rather, your instinct makes you sharper about the dangers and makes you quicker at taking action before the damage is done. People used to say to me in those days, "You learn with trial and error." I would disagree and reply, "Trial and error is not good enough when a precious child is involved. You have to be very, very sure." There is a big difference in women's personality and life before and after children. Children teach women to become leaders. Our mother is a leader in her children's eyes, at least until they reach teenage. Some children worship their mothers all their lives. So there must be something that happens to a woman when she becomes a mother and does that job properly. She learns to take initiatives, be courageous, be generous, become multi-skilled, and lead them by setting good examples such as clean habits and good manners, crossing the road properly, or respecting other people's property. Children usually like their mothers except when mothers are autocratic or violent. There is a lot that women read and learn to be able to raise children. They go through training to be able to handle toddlers and teenagers. They attend classes to learn how to be patient with children and when the children are learning to read and write. A mother's quiet presence gives a sense of security to growing children, knowing that she is available at the end of the day for any advice they need. She teaches them the values honored by their family, school, and society. Mothers are radiant with pride at their children's achievements, just like fathers are, and mothers do their best to reward good behaviors. If there is a weakness in her child, she keeps awake all night and doesn't care about herself in the pursuit of giving the best to her children. These selfless qualities may also be seen in girls who have not attained motherhood. Nature shifts the mental and emotional capacities of mothers. These qualities then stay with a woman for the rest of her life. She can use these exceptional and well-developed qualities of caring and attention to detail in businesses to bring excellent results. For women entrepreneurs, their businesses are like their children. These women demonstrate a lot of commitment towards their businesses and nurture them as they nurture their families. They treat their staff with respect and courtesy. Women have learned the hard way that you have to be nice and polite to people who look after your treasures, whether it is your children or your departments. They know that being fair in all their dealings will get them the best results. Just as children are safe in the hands of people who can be relied upon and trusted, and you wouldn't take a chance if there was any doubt about their safety, similarly, when entrusting their businesses to managers and employees, women leaders make sure that they give these responsibilities to people who are capable, transparent, and trustworthy. Mothers who have also kept their foot on their careers show that they can take responsibility, work with great dedication and intensity, can take independent decisions, and work as a part of teams. They are hardworking, energetic, and talented. They are masters in their field and believe in being highly specialized with continuous learning. Women can be dynamic, bold, democratic, and contextual. They know how to act according to circumstances. Women can see and sense dangers and can draw upon their instincts to find the best possible solutions when others can't think clearly. Women work with collaboration and take consensus while making major decisions. They do that not because they doubt their own abilities, but to utilize more heads in coming to a better decision. More minds with diverse opinions can analyze better. Business matters can get fresh and diverse perspectives for examination and debating before commitments are made. Women usually work within time frames and before deadlines. More women are now result oriented as well as task oriented. They value the qualitative and quantitative aspects of all tasks. Women are slightly more risk averse than men because they don't believe in shortcuts and short term gains alone. Women look after the long term and microscopically analyze the dangers and safety aspects about their businesses. These women demonstrate qualities of leadership right from the beginning of their careers. An example of how women can learn everything that a man can learn. If you have taken car driving lessons or driven any vehicle in a busy and fast traffic, you will realize that life before learning to drive was different from life after getting your driving license and driving carefully. As a pedestrian, you only have to cross the roads carefully. As a driver, your neck is involved and so is everyone else's who drive on the road around you. Learning the skill to drive on a busy road changes you. It makes you sharper and more responsible. It opens up doors inside your brain that were not fully open. This sharpness then reflects in other works too. In my career as a pharmacist, I became more careful about handling prescriptions and medicines for my patients after becoming a reliable car driver. I also had better relations with our clients in the pharmacy business when I became a better car driver. Sounds complicated? Let me explain. When I started to drive carefully on roads, I had to pay more attention to detail and be extra careful. This developed areas in my brain that helped me read prescriptions better and pay more attention to detail while doing the clinical checks about my patients' medicines in pharmacies. I was therefore able to do my job much better and get appreciated by clients more often. Faculties developed with training in one area of work can help other areas of work as well. If you are good at housework, you can handle office work better too. And if you can learn certain organizational skills at your workplace, you can organize your home better too. So having time for home and having a great career is possible and can be mutually beneficial. Safety does not happen automatically. It has to be learned with experiences. A mother's experience puts her in a much better position from safety perspective and helps to develop those areas in her brain that make her reactions sharp towards risk and danger. So when it comes to risk management in businesses, she is slightly more cautious than a man in taking a decision about any risks that involves investing, divesting, expanding into new territories, or dealing with people, that is shareholders, customers, employees, partners, or competitors. It is not because women are slow at making decisions or are not capable of analyzing the data in front of them that they have an aversion to certain risk factors. She is actually doing it slightly better, applying her better self in scrutinizing the situations before making a decision. Her decisions may then come across as less aggressive than a man's, but they will be sound. She may react emotionally to certain decisions, just as I was freaking out before my baby could get into any danger. Respect these emotional outbursts. There is usually a reason behind them. This reason could save your business from certain dangers and allow you more time for assessing situations and carrying out risk management procedures thoroughly. In business, there are more things not worth doing than those that are worth doing. I have seen in interviews with CEOs that business leaders have to focus on the most important things that need doing and not try and do everything themselves. More businesses fail because they have products that are not profitable than their profitable range, and before they realize and stop making those unprofitable products, they have already wasted a lot of time and money. Trust a woman's instinct when she says that that project is not worth going ahead with. Give the necessary time to make detailed business plans and to revisiting them regularly. It is not obsessive compulsory. She has actually applied her better self and better judgment in rejecting that project for any other project. Going back to the example of an activity that both men and women can do, such as driving, we can note that life before and after driving is definitely different. As drivers, we all had to go through brain sharpening activities such as taking the entire road and everything that is happening on it at high speeds within our eyes and our brains. We had to make quick decisions about changing our directions or about following traffic rules. Both men and women can develop these areas. In business too, you wouldn't just make someone a CEO or allow someone with inadequate training and experience to manage a big department. They have to demonstrate the ability to lead, manage, and bring results. Businesses should select the most appropriate people to fit that role. That could be a man or a woman. This step itself will eliminate the appointment of a leader just because she or he happened to be the child of the previous leader and will help in better selection of leaders. Men as default leaders for the norms of the past. It is still practiced in some cultures because women have not pushed themselves forward to the extent that gives them the credit and dynamism to stand out and lead. Now in the 21st century, more women drive cars and therefore realize the difference within themselves before and after driving. They can compare themselves favorably with men. How long does it take to learn, practice, and master the driving skills? Looking at the speed with which girls have taken on driving, I would say it would be 2 or 3 years that the girls can drive carefully and safely on roads. In businesses too, it would take 2 to 3 years of practice in the required areas for women to become safe and reliable, just as it would take a man. Just because fewer women drove vehicles in the early part of the 20th century doesn't imply that all women are unsuitable to drive vehicles on roads. Insurance companies will provide proofs and statistics about women drivers. There will still be a section of men complaining that it is because women are so slow at driving and because most women don't do too much night driving that they have fewer accidents. Well, certain things are just not worth doing. Taking calculated risks and preventing more accidents would be a much better choice than reckless driving in the nights without much purpose. That's something more men do than women, that's driving in the night. Safety of women starts from the mother's womb. Don't abort your child just because she is a female. Allowing girls to grow properly inside and then outside of the mother's womb is primarily important for their safety. Keeping a close eye on growing girls while giving them the best possible upbringing is the foundation of creating effective women leaders. There must be enough and appropriate adult supervision of growing girls and boys to help them grow and develop safely. This is important not only because there are people and situations that deliberately cause harm to growing children, but also because physically and mentally safe children have better self-esteem and confidence to grow into strong business leaders that most countries now need. There are beasts in suits. Women leaders must remain vigilant of these beasts. These two-legged beasts haven't evolved or refined themselves as human beings. They are around you out of destiny, greed, or lust. Learn to recognize the signs and maintain the clear distance. If these beasts are unavoidable totally, take all precautionary measures within your power. Just as you know that money from your purse can disappear with thieves around you, so can other items of value, including your dignity. Just as you guard your wallet close to your eyes, you should guard every item of value, including your children, your businesses, and all valuables. If you can't watch them 24/7, make sure that they are in the safest of hands. In the world of business, no matter what sector you work in, managing factors of risk, compliance, and ethics can be quite challenging. Women business leaders need to address unethical behaviors and prepare clear policies around all business matters, including proper conduct and standards of behaviors. They may have to take firm actions to counteract those who promote unethical behaviors. Perpetrators of business malpractice often give a wide variety of excuses as to why the ethics surrounding risk management, compliance, and general businesses are difficult to establish. Lack of awareness about misconduct or individuals lacking their judgment on ethics within a business should be a matter of the past, when women were not actively involved in leading businesses. Running businesses ethically can be done by preparing clear rules, proper guidelines, and ethical standards that are conveyed to all employees at every step to avoid confusion. They must have weekly sessions of dealing with every issue of inappropriateness from business ethics point of view. There must be an ethics committee set up in businesses. Leadership around ethical conduct should be strengthened. Clear consequences for inappropriate behavior by men and women should be stated in all relevant documents such as contracts of employment and company policies. Staff should be encouraged to value these ethics, implement them, and build structures around them. Every person working with you or within your organization should feel safe. Accidents should be kept to a minimum by developing and following rules about health and safety at workplaces. We do all we can to ensure that nothing is forgotten or overlooked. Women leaders should ensure that there are adequate systems in place for the safety of workers and customers in businesses they lead. The law of attraction. Thinking positively of always being safe will enhance your safety by activating the law of attraction that brings in our lives events, people, places, and situations according to our thinking and mental images. By not focusing on dangers such as accidents or mishaps, you can somehow reduce their occurrences according to the law of attraction. People call it superstition, but there is enough proof that it works. This doesn't mean that you don't take safety measures. It means that once all safety measures are taken, don't dwell your thought upon unsafe things. Don't visualize unsafe things happening, but instead focus on the positive aspects around dangerous situations. For example, if you take a test or prepare for an interview, focus your thoughts on passing the test with excellent marks or on actually getting the job and seeing yourself working in that place in your mental images. Thinking positively will increase your chances of those positive things happening. When you are about to be involved in a real accident, just by thinking about an exit strategy will increase your chances of escaping that accident. It is better to be safe than sorry. More women than men know that. Women in leadership will need the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough and challenging decisions, and the empathy to listen to the needs of others. Highest intent towards integrity in every deal and the best quality in all our products and services will make women and their businesses stand out. It's almost certain that some people will never agree to women's list of skills, strategies, and competencies as leaders. Women universally need to know that effectively operating and leading in a flexible, dynamic, and ethical way is the only way forward. The ability to see the challenges and the solutions from every angle, to communicate their visions passionately and persuasively, asking the right questions at the right time, and even when some people think that it's not the right time, will be the next steps for women aspiring leadership. Women business leaders need to be role models in each department, upholding the company's ethical stance. Developing reward systems and clearly defined repercussions are required for good and ethical behaviors to become norms and will be a step in reinforcing the message. An environment needs to be created in which employees are comfortable about reporting misconducts and feel confident that the company will take appropriate action. Women leaders can build on existing policies and prove that they can be relied to take this on impartially. This is how new cultures of integrity can be established, where every manager makes decisions that can be trusted, thus reducing risks, building overall confidence in all employees, increasing the reputation of their companies, and saving time wasted from lawsuits and lost businesses. Women as caretakers have always had to start each day right. They have had to prepare a routine for the day. This habit to prepare a routine will pass on to businesses. Women have had to start duties the moment they awake. This helps to put the odds in their favour and sets the rhythm and pace of how you will do your jobs and finish them. If women are going to build and rebuild their lifestyle around one of for safety, hard work, health, vitality and high performance, they need to take into all these aspects before they go ahead and become business leaders. To be at the top of any business, women will need to follow the pattern of a preparation routine with a fierce devotion because it activates all sorts of subconscious and autonomic systems that puts them in the winning zone. A condition of readiness and awareness will help women aspiring leadership to position them for success. Planning to have a great day at work and bringing in the desired results will show how solid and serious you are about your leadership position. Getting up early at the dawn of the day is not an issue for women who have already made many sacrifices to get to top levels. As a business owner and leader, you are responsible to set the pace for the entire organization. Your business, big or small, is a reflection of you. People don't go the extra mile if the leader is still in bed. If you want them to start work at a certain time, make sure you start work at the same time. It is important to keep everyone's morale high to succeed in business. When you encounter a misfortune, study the behavior of your spouse, friends, and employees. This is the time to test who will go ahead with you. Keep those who stand by you in ill health, bankruptcy, or similar misfortune. Understand your sources of wealth. Stay in populated areas for safety, but where your health is least damaged. Don't stay in overcrowded, overpopulated, and overly stressful areas where your health will deteriorate because a healthy body, a happy heart, and peaceful mind are the prerequisite for a successful and rich life. Stay and work around decent people who have a sense of shame and a sense of charity. Marry someone like you who, although may have complementary but different attributes, that when you put together on the canvas of family life, it forms a complete picture. Learn to smell danger and take active precautions. Also learn to take some more risks. Follow your instinct. Guard your secrets from people who can't honor them. Everyone doesn't need to know everything. Learn to be selective. That is Chanakya 200 to 300 BC. Create value in all your works and value other people's contributions. Principle 2. Vibrant health, empowered minds. It is health that is real wealth and not pieces of gold and silver. Mahatma Gandhi. Good health is a prerequisite to a fulfilling, demanding, and leading career in business. A healthy mind and a healthy body support each other. Let's start with the mind, as mind is the most important part of our body. Mind is more powerful than the body. People with certain disabilities can carry out jobs that will put able bodies to shame. A body that keeps falling ill, in need of hospitalization, and with bags full of medicines may not help when dealing with demanding situations faced by business leaders. Ask people who are preoccupied with health issues how many good days they have per month compared to bad days. Analyze how productive you can be on good days and what extra help you will need to carry out normal business activities on bad days. When it comes to leadership in business, the stakes are high. A healthy woman or man with adequate business acumen can take a lot more in their stride than an unhealthy man or woman of similar experience and knowledge. Good health combined with strong willpower is mandatory to leadership in business. Stay away from harmful and addictive substances, be it drugs, alcohol, tobacco, or sugar. Find what causes harmful addiction and stay away from them, be it mindless shopping, credit card bills, or too much screens such as television, mobile phones, or iPods. These are the addictions of the 21st century. Biological needs of men and women. Biological reasons for women giving birth should be considered as a natural process in the life of women leaders. Men too have to take time off from work to attend to their biological needs, which may not be necessarily the same as that of women. Nevertheless, they do have to attend to the needs of their bodies. Comparing the amount of time and money spent by men in looking after their bodily needs, their biological needs, when compared with women's needs to giving birth and looking after the offsprings, the equations would be equal. Men are preoccupied with their biological needs from age 10 or 11 in one way or another, and also take medication and allocate time for these needs well into their 80s. If women allocate the same amount of time to their biological needs of having children and raising them, the time spent on biological needs of both genders would work out to be the same. So why is the issue of women's biological needs raised as a challenging one? Women seeking leadership positions need to invest in good health. Some people are gifted with extraordinary good health and only need to maintain it with proper nutrition, water, exercise, sleep, and fresh air, while others need to take extra steps to improve and enhance mental and physical stamina. Analysis about areas of weaknesses made with the help of specialists can highlight gaps in mental and physical health that need filling. Just as athletes have to train to enhance endurance and mental power to win a game, a business leader has to enhance physical capacities and mental talents that help generate profits and keep the business afloat in complex market situations. Just as a vehicle needs a regular Ministry of Transport test, the MOT test, women in leadership need to get themselves checked on a yearly basis to ensure that they are not developing weaknesses in areas of health that may not withstand the pressures of business in the year to follow. Prescriptions by health specialists should aim at enhancing overall physical capacity by giving marks on the scale of 1 to 10 or 1 to 100 for each area of health, 1 being close to death and 100 being super healthy or 10 being healthy. Reports about health should indicate steps that need to be taken to alleviate certain weaknesses. MOT should be done in 2 stages each year. The first stage would involve a total check with a report of status quo and what improvements are needed in which areas. The second stage would be to see if those areas have improved and by how much. This MOT should be used by individuals only, not as discriminating tools by employers. The result of these tests should be kept highly confidential. These are for the individual leader's benefit and understanding. These tests should not be carried out by organizations for the selection of leaders. Selection of leaders should be based on their demonstration of business acumen, knowledge, and competencies, without discrimination on grounds of mental or physical health. My experience as a pharmacist has made me realize that people who keep moving and remaining active well into their 70s and 80s enjoy better overall health than those who live sedentary lives. While conducting medicine use reviews in pharmacies, I have met over 1,000 people, men and women, above retirement age. Some of these people look 20 years younger than their age shown on their prescriptions. They are also acting 20 years younger. They go for 3 to 4 miles walks either to town or they play golf. They actively tend their gardens and engage in social activities. They still work in their old businesses either part-time or for 2 mornings a week. They are very conscious about what they eat and they eat in moderation. They are aware of their nutritional needs, their needs for fresh air, and of keeping their minds active. Water has many benefits. Those who drink water in small amounts throughout the day are fitter and healthier. They have a better focus, they enjoy good skin and good moods. These medicine use reviews revealed that people who had maximum health problems were the indoors types. They hardly ever go out for walks. They like their TV and their computers or their books. They have gardens but maintained by someone else. As they approach their 70s and 80s, they slowly lose the motivation to go out of the house. Those who make a habit of going out of their comfort zone for the sake of a good health, for a good habit such as a walk, even when temperatures are not right, usually remain more flexible and enjoy better health. They are better able to advise their children and managers about business matters well into their 80s. Discipline about one's health has to be a top priority for women leaders. Nothing else will be achievable if the body and mind can't cope. To be specific, allocate 3 hours a day to yourself for your physical, mental, and spiritual needs. These include some form of prayer or meditation, bath or shower, a cleansing routine, a walk of an hour's duration every day, some form of cardiovascular exercise for 15-20 minutes after consulting your doctor or healthcare professional, and at least 30 minutes of slow exercise such as yoga or a massage. This is required to relieve the build-up of stress caused due to the business matters and general life. It helps to keep the body and mind more flexible and gives clarity of thoughts. These 3 hours to yourself are needed to remain focused and to stay in a good mood, which is very important in businesses. Don't think that this is a waste of time. This rejuvenation, done in stages throughout the day, provides breaks from work and makes us more productive after the break. As women move up the career ladder from middle management to senior levels, or as business entrepreneurs, they work 70 to 80 hours a week. This requires them to travel, remain on the go, and even eat in restaurants. They have to host meals or be invited to meals. They are usually in the middle of a lot of food, and most of it is festive food with sugary drinks and desserts. Persisting on healthy choices each time, leaders can socialize as well as keep themselves fit and healthy. Learning to say no to sugary foods and alcoholic drinks, processed foods and desserts will prove helpful in maintaining a good health. Health experts warn that sugar is as dangerous as alcohol and tobacco. According to Daily Telegraph, 13th May 2014, Britain's obesity crisis could be reversed within 5 years if food companies reduce sugar in products by 30%. Health experts claim as they launch a new campaign to cut the intake of sugar. Today, sugar is added to foods that are mistakenly eaten as healthy foods. These include breakfast cereals, yogurts, and fruit juices. Awareness of sugar and other additives and vigilantly eliminating harmful substances from diet is the educated way forward to enjoying good health for longer and remaining healthy while leading businesses. Women will have to focus on nutritional needs and may require some health supplements in cases of deficiencies. Women in their 50s often have hormonal ups and downs due to menopause. This is the decade when their careers are also demanding. These women are usually better earners and work long hours. This takes a toll on their health. Usual complaints I see in pharmacies are migraines and tension headaches, followed by knee pains as they move towards their 60s. Osteoporosis sets in the 60s, adding more misery. Investing in good health becomes crucial at a younger age. For those who have indulged and taken health for granted, there is help available from government initiatives to join exercise and healthy diet groups. There are privately run health clubs and yoga classes that can help improve certain health issues. When time means money, spending the few hours that these leaders have each week on their own health improvement becomes crucial. Forming a routine and fitting in exercise, walks, cycling, sports, or swimming on a weekly basis can help you relax and enjoy better minds and bodies. There comes a point in lives of these leaders when they can't afford to waste time on cooking their own meals. They have to rely on other people to cook their meals. They have to rely on other people to prepare everything they eat or drink. Being specific about your dietary requirements and letting the cooks or secretaries know exactly what you will and will not eat is the only way on a daily basis to remain on a diet that is suitable to your needs. Majority of people who are even moderately concerned about their health in the West know that adequate sleep, regular exercise, 5 to 10 pieces of fruits and vegetables, and at least 60 grams of protein are necessary daily requirements for nutrition. Small amounts of fats and adequate carbohydrates are also needed for energy. Eating foods such as soya and oats can give a slow release of glucose rather than a big rush that comes after eating cakes and donuts. Slow release is better for maintaining good health. Basics such as not skipping breakfast should be known to all leaders, men and women. A light lunch with 3 fruit snacks a day could stop you from feeling tired, bloated and sleepy at noon. Drink water instead of drinks with additives. This helps to clean your internal organs, lubricates them, and improves your concentration. Making sure you have salads, soups, or vegetables with your main meals will add the necessary vitamins and fiber. Protein can be eaten with all three meals. Dark chocolate, nuts, and seeds are brain foods, and when extremely tired or voraciously hungry, these foods give instant relief. They should be eaten in small portions, equivalent to a size of 15 to 20 almonds a day, or two 1-inch pieces of dark chocolate. Nibbling on these and chewing for a long time on all foods is the best way to digest them properly. If one learns to savor the flavors and eat really slowly, an occasional ice cream would not harm so much. Eggs and fish are considered as better forms of protein for non-vegetarians by many dietitians. Vegans and vegetarians need to look up their nutritional equivalents. The right vitamins as tablets and capsules can help improve energy and vitality. If you can swallow tablets, avoid sugary medicines. Preserve your eyes, as they are the chief among all your organs after the mind. Don't overuse eyes for unnecessary screen activities. Glasses can be avoided or postponed by proper eye exercises, breathing exercises, and resting the eyes. Excessive caffeine stimulates the mind and body and reduces the ability to sleep. Certain medicines can also have similar stimulating effects. Lack of sleep affects eyesight. A gentle massage around the eyes and cooling them with cold tea bags help to refresh them. As a 21st century leader, you are required to read a lot of documents. Learn the ability to scan rapidly. As a 21st century reader, you are required to read a lot of documents. So learn to ability to scan rapidly, separate the relevant from the irrelevant, and use your eyes judiciously. Fingers were not initially designed to type thousands of words. Increasing number of people are developing arthritic type of pains from fingers, the joints of the fingers, due to overuse on computers and other repetitive movements. Restrict the use of fingers to necessary typing. Use technology to reduce continuous typing for hours on end. The law of attraction. You can invite great health to yourself by focusing on areas of your health that you want improving. By not thinking about the negative aspects of your health, you actually reduce their importance according to the law of attraction. It sounds rather simplistic and unbelievable, but people have attracted good health to themselves simply by thinking and talking about their health conditions as already improved. For example, overweight people have talked and imagined themselves into losing weight by believing that they are thin and all their unwanted fat has melted away. By repeating these visualization and affirmation exercises 8 to 10 times a day and actually believing in them, people have seen miraculous results. It takes practice and meditation. They have subconsciously attracted to themselves foods, exercises, people, and events that led them towards their focused body size and weight. This law can be applied to a large number of health situations. Not everyone will be equally successful, but it is worth a try. If the placebo effect has actually caused the required changes, then it is not a concept worth throwing away. It doesn't mean that you don't take timely medical help and advice. It only means that by focusing positively on getting better, you can attract to yourself the best doctors, medicines, and help necessary to achieve your next to near ideal health. Principle 3. Reach for the sky. Before contemplating leadership or any further career moves, ask yourself these questions. What do you really want? What is your present situation? Where do you want to go from here? What are your ambitions about life on the whole besides work and career? What is your monthly income or business turnover or profit? What would you like it to be this year or next year? What help is already available to you? What will you need and who will help you in each individual stage? Does what you aim to achieve go in hand with your values and goals that you have set for yourself? Do any of these contradict each other? Write down manually in a new book, I must insist that you write manually using paper and pen and not electronically. Write down answers to each of these questions in as much detail as possible, breaking them down into smaller sections and going deep. Then keep this notebook or diary on the desk that you see every morning and evening. Also, make a vision or wishes wall. Write your wishes or pictures of your wishes and put them up on the wall or a board. You should be able to see them clearly every day. This is the only shortcut I know to achieve things quickly. There is no substitute for hard work. All this exercise, along with hard work, will get you into much closer position to your desired goals and build in you a hunger that we call ambition. Once you clearly write down what it is that you want, make a step-by-step plan to achieve it and then work on any 3 items on that plan daily. This is how you are more likely to achieve your big goals. Revisit these plans regularly. Similarly, make business plans and keep revisiting initial business plans. Replace certain things and add new items to the plan on further pages of your diary. Don't distort the initial vision and values you had. You will need the initial vision and keep all your values alive when you get confused and misguided. Focus only on 3 or 4 main aspects of your business at a time and make clear strategies for everyone to follow. Those who decide to lead others have a high degree of personal responsibility and responsibility for others. They not only change their own lives but lives of all those whom they lead. When I qualified as a pharmacist in India, I had 4 major goals. The first one was to develop my career by getting as much experience in pharmaceuticals as I could possibly get. This was the lifelong goal. The second goal was to get married and have at least 2 children. The third goal was to be settled in the UK, and the fourth goal was to have a great retired life. By age 25, I had a variety of experiences in pharmaceutical industry, knowing the practical processes of manufacturing of tablets, liquids, capsules, sterile products, quality control and quality assurance. I also worked as a medical representative. That experience allowed me to meet a variety of doctors practicing at different levels in India. I worked voluntarily in the pharmacy department of a large hospital in India and then helped out in a friend's pharmacy before coming to the UK. After coming to UK, I went through further training as an overseas pharmacist and another year as a pre-registration pharmacist. I worked in hospital and community pharmacies. I worked as a manager and a locum for multi-million-pound businesses such as the Boots Pharmacy, Lloyd's Pharmacy, Tesco, Asda, Sainsbury's, the Cooperative Pharmacy, Superdrug, and almost half of the independent pharmacies in Ipswich. This exposed me to many different management styles and teams. This provided tremendous learning opportunities. My second goal of getting married came true after my third goal was realized, the UK one. By that time, there was a slight change in that goal. I then decided to have 4 children instead of 2. I discussed this with my husband, who fully supported me in that decision. This goal was set in my late 20s. I wanted to have 4 children in my 30s, which I did, and continued to work as a manager first and then as a locum pharmacist. I acquired my second qualification as a practicing homeopath in the UK during the maternity leaves for my third child. I had spent the first 2 maternity leaves and all the time in between studying homeopathy while looking after the babies and working full-time. I had returned to full-time pharmacy work after the statutory mandatory maternity leaves and had a clinic in a complementary health centre 1 day a week. There I practiced alongside other complementary health specialists such as osteopaths, acupuncturists, yoga teachers, and a physiotherapist. My parents lived next door to me, so there were at least 4 adults available to look after our 4 children. I also had extra paid help in the form of nurseries and privately hired ladies to help me with housework and support with children's care and to tutor them. Having realized the first 3 goals, I set myself new goals after my 4th child was born. This time I wanted to stop practicing homeopathy. The turn in the economic climate had affected private practices such as alternative medicines, making them less profitable in the UK, where the National Health Service, NHS, is still active and many people don't have to pay for medical care. I decided to take a sabbatical from homeopathy and focused on building my career as a pharmacist and a business person. I then wanted to write books on management and leadership. My new goals included studying for a Master's in Business Administration degree, MBA, write books on management and leadership, and be part of the corporate world in many more capacities. I've always accepted personal responsibility for the decisions I made and the goals I set. By the time I completed MBA, I knew that writing down clear goals helped in achieving them. I have a habit of writing everything down in my diary. I carry my diary everywhere with me. I now need a much bigger diary as I would like to stick pictures of whatever future I visualize. My aim is to have tangible paper pictures of everything I desire and wish to achieve, as this helps me better if I can see them regularly without logging into a computer. These achievements have helped me build my self-esteem and confidence to a level that when my old friends meet me, they feel that I have really come a long way. I personally feel that I have not even achieved half of the things that I am capable of, and there are 40 more years of active life ahead of me. This is in 2014. What I am good at today was a dream yesterday. This makes me even more confident that the bigger I dream today, the better chance I have of achieving them tomorrow. Having achieved my goals so far, I am now contemplating bigger goals for myself and my family. I set goals for my children too. By the grace of God, they are beautiful, healthy, happy, and regarded as gifted and talented by their schools. I spend allocated hours with them each week. We also have a lot of quality fun times such as outings, birthdays, celebrations, and sports. The one thing that I had to sacrifice was socializing in the traditional sense. I don't regularly go to visit friends nor have friends over at home for chatting. I have redefined socializing to suit the lifestyle we have. I work at many different places, including pharmacies. I meet different people each week. I try and get to know them as friendly colleagues. I have tea, coffee, and lunch with them. We advise each other on family and work matters. That is my network and social life, so I don't miss the traditional socializing. I have friends on social networks such as Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. I am a member of various groups promoting business and enterprise. I have opportunities to share a lot of business-related topics with them, and we also have something to eat and drink together. This makes my social life very varied and professional. I've learned from experience, both mine and those of people I interviewed or studied, that idealizing, visualizing, setting up strategies, and prioritizing can unleash a lot of potential, and we can achieve whatever we desire to achieve. I've always been curious to study areas of growth such as careers, businesses, and personalities, and areas of needs such as health, family, and spirituality. MBA has taught me to set clear deadlines. I can now achieve things quicker than before by setting timely and well-defined goals. I go for a walk almost every day and sit on a bench near a duck pond, a very peaceful place, and do my visualization exercises, yoga breathing exercises, and meditate before the walk back home. This is my time, a peaceful time to connect with nature, say my gratitude to the Creator, and ask for whatever I need next. I also pray and meditate at home. The law of attraction. The law of attraction works in most cases of ambition. If you want something for yourself or someone else with great passion and hope, you will attract it. I have seen this work in people living in a village in India, ambitious to make a good living in America. By focusing on it and talking about it, they have attracted to themselves people and situations that have transported them to America in a matter of years and making a good living within a decade or so. Ambition of a man working on streets in India has enabled him to educate his daughter and make her an engineer. There are numerous examples in newspapers how seemingly weak members of society have suddenly taken big leaps for themselves and their children. Women seeking leadership positions should activate the law of attraction to work in their favor by constantly thinking about their desired promotions, imagining themselves sitting in board meetings, and actually living the life of a CEO. What is the worst thing that can happen by daydreaming about running the company you're working in at the present as a middle-level manager, by imagining that you are in the top management? It doesn't cost you anything to imagine yourself owning the entire enterprise, and firing the line manager you hate so much. There is power in the evil eye when done properly, applying the principles of the law of attraction. You will only attract the people or situation that will make it happen. You may be fired from your present position only to find that you are hired by another company that allows you to grow faster than your previous company and your previous company can hire you back, but at the top management level. Please don't blame me if you do something wrong and end up getting fired with no such promotions happening. If you don't do everything carefully and correctly, you may not see the benefits of the law of attraction. The karma theory goes very deep about wishes being fulfilled in future lives, etc. I am not going in those areas right now. Just focus on your ambitions, write them down daily, read them out aloud. Let yourself hear you speak highly of your desired ambitions as already achieved in the present tense, and you will receive that important phone call or interview email. You might just be invited to a business event that opens more doors for you, or might be drawn to an open day at the university of your choice, and the enrollment process starts, leading to more doors opening. With men as default leaders up to the 20th century, women have only just started exercising their ambition about leadership in businesses. Because of centuries of male dominance, it is now taking longer to make room for equal opportunities for women. Because of centuries of male dominance, it is now taking longer to make room for equal opportunities for women. It will at least take 2 to 3 generations for the gender gap to be filled completely at the highest levels in businesses. There are lots of talks, debates, and reports about how slowly the gap between men and women is filling at these top levels. It is slow because only a small proportion of companies have wholeheartedly welcomed this concept. Others are only toying with the idea of having more women in their boards or in senior management teams. Women who have to try extra hard and often work twice as hard as men to get the promotions at the topmost levels are going to see the results. These women would be pleased to know that after working twice as hard, if they do get these positions and they have to keep working twice as hard as men to maintain their positions and prove their worth, they will become so specialized and so talented that it will be impossible to replace them. It is only a matter of one more generation, and the truth about women bringing more economic benefits to companies will be very well known all over the world. Ambitions sown today will create giant women business leaders by 2050. The years in between will see various transitional levels of progress and reduce the gender gap at senior business positions. For a woman, there are other goals besides a career ladder. Women have ambitions about their life with a good father of their children who is also a good companion. Loneliness and lack of affection or not having children doesn't seem to be fulfilling to every woman. They do seem to want it all. On the other hand, those who are not willing to make a great career are also happy with life in general. This brings us back to the first question of this chapter. Decide what you really want and base your ambition and goals according to those values. Create your heaven here and now. Make your home and your workplace a heaven to visit and live in while you are in this world. When you create heaven here, you will attract other heavens in the years to come. Principle 4. Outstanding experts. Excellence is an art won by training and habituation. We do not act rightly because we have virtue or excellence, but we rather have those because we have acted rightly. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but a habit. Aristotle, 384 to 322 BC. Hundreds of business schools, leadership training academies, and management consultation firms have supported evidences about the growing list of benefits to businesses by more women in leadership positions. One such example is cited here from Henley Business School article. The clamour for more women in leadership, does it have to improve business performance? Women have consistently outperformed men in education. They bring a different right-brain perspective to management, which delivers a sustainable competitive advantage that is much more difficult to copy. It's less tangible, but brands such as Apple, Virgin, and John Lewis exhibit it in abundance. Passionate individuals with a desire to see it all in the corporate world need continuous education and training. Becoming a leader involves developing human effectiveness in yourself and in your followers. You want the best gurus that your parents and caretakers can get you, and then, as you learn to take your own responsibility, you need to continue to hunt for the best teachers to develop you and groom you as a world-class business leader. Gurus can help budding women leaders understand the correct balance between clerical work and learning, setting explicitly clear goals with excellent performance standards, showing them how they can positively contribute to their companies or individual departments, explaining how they can get the very best people to be their referees, and providing continuous feedback about where they are and where they want to be. Educated women will be capable of entertaining thoughts without accepting them, and then contextualizing those thoughts and see their appropriateness to situations. Certain abilities will need to be developed and sharpened. That comes with practice and become habits. Attitudes and mindsets will change as women prove to be models of excellent leadership. Mahatma Gandhi said, "Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever." By understanding who you are and what your core values are, you can achieve harmony in your life and businesses. Women aspiring to be business leaders should indulge in this form of self-analysis to understand what makes them happy, excited, angry, or frustrated. This will then allow them to see those areas with greater clarity. This will help them celebrate their virtues and fix whatever they need fixing. They will understand their basic nature and why they react the way they do to certain situations. This also helps in understanding other people who work with you or under you. Acquire the best possible knowledge. This makes you competent. This makes you more confident to acquire more knowledge, further competency, and even further, learn to conquer cruelty, dishonesty, stupidity, untruthfulness, uncleanliness, backbiting, gossiping, lack of hygiene, and laziness. For outstanding expertise in your field, take every opportunity to meet, study, and spend time with the most successful people you can find. Focus on your specialty first. Become as good as anyone you know in your field. Then start adding special touches. Going to fields parallel to yours will give you new insights and inputs that you can use to enhance performance and become an expert. This will help you to be innovative. Spending time with other experts, networking in their circles, and studying experts remotely and routinely by reading about their lives and their works can motivate you to take further learning initiatives. When you meet experts or study them, try to find what separates them from everyone else. What are the top 10 things that they can do that others don't do or others don't do enough of? Then look at your situation and write down their points on the left side of your notebook or diary, and on the right hand side write down your achievements in the same area. Below that, make a to-do list. After that, prioritize what you would like to do first in order to take a step in the direction of becoming an expert. Understanding yourselves and others. First, judge the book by its cover. First impressions are vital. They say a lot about the person. It may not be possible to put on paper or put your finger on it, but our subconscious mind recognizes signals more than what we can write or describe. This is one of the biggest gifts of nature to us. We have an instinct that takes a snapshot of people we meet, places we see, and creates a profile in our minds. Subsequent visits are like addictions to profiles. This will be your first level of understanding and by no means a substitute to opening the book and reading the chapters. At times of unemployment or between jobs, grow your new talents. Use the money saved from previous ventures in self-development and finding new ways to rise as business leaders. In the meantime, drastically change your spending habits. This change must be made before you get into debt. Reflect upon your student days and how you managed. Use second-hand things if you need to. Budget your outgoings and watch your money. Flexibility in spending really helps here. Penance and meditation can help to bring closer things that appear distant, impossible, and beyond your reach. Patience and perseverance are your friends in achieving long term big goals. And can yield surprising short term benefits. These goals need to be focused on and meditated upon with repetition and visualization. There are enough sweet words in the dictionaries, and when words are not enough, there are hundreds of sounds that we can use. There are enough sweet words in the dictionaries, and when words are not enough, there are hundreds of sounds, endearments, and sympathetic gestures that women leaders can adopt. Everyone needs kind words. Women can generate a variety of kind words without sounding unprofessional. You have the ability to tell someone off with a smile and sugar-coated threats when required. This can inspire the desired actions and results. This can be done without the need to resort to insults or breaking relationships. Self-limiting thoughts and doubts don't allow you to step a foot out of your bed if you allow them to dominate your life. People with self-doubt can't find enough energy to get out of bed and face the day, leave alone become business leaders. This happens to men and women. Girls who are filled with self-doubt, who have only heard discouraging words from parents, teachers, relatives, and society, will result in limiting their activities and stopping their career advancements. They are a long way away from holding leadership positions. On the other hand, brave, energetic, and bold girls who get encouragement from peers often succeed in overcoming self-doubt and throwing themselves into leadership positions. If you have to use bondage in your relationship, the best bondage is that of affection. Just by being themselves, women can demonstrate a large number of qualities needed for businesses to succeed. Add knowledge, skills, expertise, competencies, and experience in business, proper mentoring, effective networks, access to finances, and a free market to compete, and a lady is ready to lead any business. Self-love and love for others can reside in the same heart. Sharing a meal with someone will not bankrupt you. Similarly, sharing profits with others who help develop your business empire will give you economies of scale and bring huge economic rewards in shorter time. When you eat alone, you remain a sole trader. When you collaborate with others and have a party, you can take advantage of lowered prices due to economies of scale. Speak what is suitable for the occasion. Don't create unnecessary scenes and devalue yours and your company's reputation. Don't shout abuses and insults in public. Don't fight and behave unprofessionally. Sort out problems with HR representatives and witnesses. Don't brag about your charities. Don't discuss domestic conflict with people at work. Don't condemn someone's hospitality by criticizing, and don't repeat bad words spoken by others. Overfamiliarity in business relations can prove to be destructive. Indifference can deprive you of a business opportunity. Manage your associates from a safe distance. Your mind is the superpower station of your body. To win at everything, train your mind to control your organs and your senses. Control the eyes and what you see. Control the nose and what you smell. Control the mouth for what you speak or eat. Control your skin and how it reacts. Control your limbs and their movements. Getting a total control on all your organs and senses will make you win at anything and become a great leader. So the first step is to develop the mind. Principle 5. Self-promotion. The trouble with women in business on the whole is that for those whom assertiveness doesn't come naturally, it is very easy to feel manipulated, bullied, and often not quite in control. These women probably find themselves taking on too much because they find it difficult to say no. This is magnified by the belief that everyone else comes first. Women might also suffer low self-esteem and lack of confidence despite having exceptional knowledge. On the other hand, women don't want to be thought of as rude, forceful, or arrogant. Self-promotion does not involve being unduly aggressive to make your presence felt or turn into a bully to get works done. Self-promotion requires skills, careful and continuous self-analysis, setting the next goal, and making sure you achieve it. Each time you engage in self-analysis, prepare a fresh set of questions to deal with the gaps between where are you and where you want to be in the next 6 months to 1 year. Do it in stages. Life has many surprises in store. You can't plan your life, not your whole life. There must be some idea about the overall progress, and some definite questions need answering about yourself, your career, and the support you will need. These questions will need to be addressed again in 6 months' time to see how far you have made it. Women around the age of 30 often have to deal with several dilemmas. Most of these dilemmas are about their careers, their life partners, their children, their homes, elderly parents, and how to combine and juggle all these aspects of life. Dilemmas involve getting married and having children. There are decisions to be made about the number of children. This is the age when couples move into their own homes or buy their own home. This comes with commitments about paying the mortgage and all the bills while the children are still very young. Usually a woman makes sacrifices around her career and stays behind for a decade on average while her man moves forward making positive career choices. These women then, in their early 40s, when children are independent, want to consider positions more adequate to their age and experience. They have been working but only in part-time capacity and taking time off for maternity and childcare. When these women apply for higher management positions, they are often faced with the further dilemmas of unemployment or entry-level positions. When they finally get a full-time job of their choice, promotions are too slow to allow them to become leaders at middle management levels, and by the time they are 55, their struggle to take on higher positions becomes stronger, with more competition from younger men who did not leave their career ladder to have children. Understanding the context of your environmental and beliefs in the realization of your goals is essential to get started. The impact of your decisions and your work on your self-esteem needs analyzing. Discipline in your daily life and all your activities will prove to be the most fundamental requirement in achieving high self-esteem. This will insist enough courage and confidence to promote you. Women should appreciate diversity. This is one of the main reasons why company boards take on women in their teams. Recognize what behaviors motivate you and develop flexibility in your behaviors. Assess what impact you have on other people by probing and also by asking for feedback. At each step, learn to be assertive without being criticized as aggressive. Learn the subtle difference between assertiveness and aggression. People will accept assertiveness, but you will not be liked for aggression. Overcome fear by facing it in small doses. Allow yourself to tackle issues that kept you away from venturing further towards your leadership goals. You know that those were your blocks in taking big leaps. Those blocks come in the form of lack of opportunities and resources, worry for the family, fear of the unknown, self-doubt, prejudices of gender, race, or culture still prevailing in people's minds. Poor physical, emotional, financial, or mental health can create fears that prevent you from going ahead. Women should continue to build great relationships, dream big dreams, and set outrageous goals, believing that they will all come true. Start by making a list of all your positive attributes and knowledge. Take stock of what you know. What you know should now be linked with what you need to know. Knowing the right people can fast-track your career. So make a list of all the people you know. Then make a chart of the names of people they know, but you don't know. Go as far as you can go in making the chart or a tree about all the contacts that can help you in your next venture. Invite those people if possible, or meet them at common events and seek advice. For example, if you have a Facebook account, see the list of your friends, then see their friends list, read the profiles and decide who can help you. Include them in your networking charts. If you have a Twitter account, see who is following you and whom you can follow in return. See who they are following or followed by. Select your networks carefully. Always be enthusiastic and courteous when seeking help. Do your homework about these people and their companies thoroughly. First meetings may not bring results. Keep persisting. Find common grounds and keep in touch via social networks such as LinkedIn, alumni groups, and group meetings. The more they see you in person, the better chances you have of promoting yourself and of building rapport and trust. People like to employ others or work with people they know and have felt inspired, impressed, and comfortable with. So don't just sit at your desk and expect to be discovered. You may be highly qualified, but that means nothing if you can't get the job or the promotion you need. With more social exposure, you will learn to deal with compliments and criticisms effectively. You will be able to give and receive feedback. You will be able to understand difficult people and ways to handle them. You will develop new communication skills and learn to deal with conflict. Know that as your position grows, so will the conflicts and the need for better ways to resolve issues. Self-promotion involves increasing overall assertiveness without coming across as pushy or aggressive. Here, communication should be aimed towards informing and persuading without upsetting others. As you become successful in promoting yourself from A to B, your self-esteem will rise and so will your confidence. You will then need to delegate works and saying no to certain works that can be done by others. This is how you'll be able to increase your personal effectiveness and appropriately manage your time. Having flexibility is vital to your success in business, and as a leader, as you move up the career ladder, your role will evolve. It won't pay to be very set in your ways. With your growing career, you will need more time for yourself to unwind from stress and to reduce mental conflict. You will need to create more opportunities to relax as your achievements increase. We see much business people using only first-class transportation and the best of hotels near work if they travel. This is all to save time. As a business leader, you will not have much time to get over jet lags from aeroplanes the way we do when we go on holidays. You will need to be ready for the next meeting in 1 to 2 hours of getting off your aeroplane. This will make it necessary for you to have the best relaxation you can buy on journeys so that you can remain fresh and energetic for all your meetings. This is why getting a head massage or a foot massage while waiting for the next plane or the next jet will become a habit that you will look forward to like a nice cup of tea. Guard your time. Self-promotion involves taking charge before it is too late. You will also need to create the space to achieve work and life goals. Make use of the priority charts to balance important and urgent works. Learning to screen out relevant from irrelevant can improve the use of your time. Having specific goals of personal productivity, saying no to non-urgent or unnecessary invitations, and effectively delegating works can free up your time and energy. With increasing age, there can be a considerable increase in the quantity of experiences, but without much diversity. Women aiming leadership positions must take on jobs or roles that give them diverse experiences. They must learn to throw themselves at opportunities that take them beyond the frameworks of their current talents. Prejudices about age or gender of employees can discourage the actual participation of older women in formal learning and development. There are prejudices and beliefs that older workers are less mobile and therefore less hardworking, or they are too set in their ways and lack flexibility. People assume that older women can't deal with rapid changes happening in organizations. These result in lower level of support and less encouragement given to older women to take on further challenges or further training to face these challenges. Women become targets of such prejudices and remain underrepresented in most forms of these trainings and education programs. They also receive less support and encouragement from supervisors and colleagues at work when engaging in learning and development activities. So leaving the career for a decade to look after growing children can push women behind in the competition for higher management positions where selections are made on the basis of competencies and their optimal use. There are certain measurement tools of employability at each level. If men and women can't fulfill these criteria, they can't be selected. Most of these measurement tools are based on previous models of men holding these positions. This makes it even harder for capable women to get selected, as they have not previously demonstrated experience in exactly the same scenarios as men have. Women have developed competencies in other areas of equal importance, and so the measurement tools for selection should be based on what women can contribute to the business as a whole and bring results, rather than judging them with the same yardstick as men of previous generations. Defining and understanding effective work-life balance gives you a clearer picture about promoting yourself. You will be able to negotiate with your employers or business partners what you are willing to give to the business and where you need flexibility. These negotiations could involve your role, position, salary, shares in the business, holidays, commitments, career breaks, pension, or retirement. There could be negotiations around how many days you will work from home and how many days you will attend meetings. Negotiations could be tailored around family and personal needs or your career advancements needs. Promoting your business. An example: write down a few things about your project and email it to 80 to 100 publications you find on the internet. These would be publications that cover areas related to your products or services. You will get a mixture of interest from different publications. Then send samples of your product to 20 to 25 publications that show reasonable amount of interest. One such publication may feature your business or product that generates enormous response. You could be receiving orders straight away. You can then handle it all yourself or outsource it to other companies. They can stock your product, sell, and process orders. A similar advert in papers could cost you in the range of £5,000. You can do it with next to nothing if you email around 200 publications and have a nice story to tell about your product or service. Learn from success stories of other people, how they got their ball rolling, how they found shortcuts or saved money and time. Consider joint ventures for faster growth. You can take advantage of other parties' expertise, name, or list of customers and increase your sales. Write a personal story about your product or service as part of your promotion. Write it like a case study, if you like, or a brief, and give them to trade magazines, regional and national press. For publishers who will offer free ads, go to your local newsagents and scour through all the newspapers and magazines. You can visit your local library and do the same. Then buy the newspapers and magazines that you think are suitable for your business. It is time consuming, but you can go online on individual websites and collect their email addresses, then send individually tailored information and write-ups targeted to each of these publications specifically. This will be your press release. There are paid resources online that have highly specific search criteria that allow you to create a list of all your target media. These databases have information about product press releases and individual publications' preferred methods of receiving product releases. There are online media publications where you can get free resources listing almost all of UK media together with links to their websites and contact information. Find out similar resources in your country. You can do the same with radio and television listings. You can get your ad into print for free or pay to be seen and build your business. Beside your lead paragraphs, succinctly summarize the questions. What is your product or service? Who are your target audience, clients and customers? When will the product be available? Where can they go to read more about your product or service and purchase them? Why that particular product service solves one or more of their problems and needs. Your facts and figures should provide a noteworthy angle. You can use formats that show your story, statistics, reports, testimonials, and websites in a summarized way. Go ahead and develop your confidence and courage to promote yourself and your business. Be strong, be visible. Principle 6. Taking charge. If liberty and equality, as is thought by some, are chiefly to be found in democracy, they will be best attained when all persons alike share in government to the utmost. Aristotle, 384 to 322 BC. holding office. Have a tidy desk. Keep only those papers, books, or files on your desk that you need to work on that day or for that project. Clear all other clutter from your desk. This will make you more productive by increasing your focus. Don't let hundreds of unimportant emails and messages eat up your time. Scan your emails after you've done your main works for the morning. That way you don't get distracted from the most important works that you need to complete before 11 a.m. or noon. This work has to be planned beforehand. Morning is generally a good time for most people to complete the most important tasks. Some people become more productive as the day warms up, and others are more productive at night time. Understand what your most productive time is. Guard it. Don't waste those hours in meaningless activities or leisure. Use them for completing your most important jobs of the day. Don't waste them on unnecessary talks, phone calls, or emails. Be a fast reader. Learn techniques to read rapidly. Focus should be like a camera zoom. When a particular task needs to be completed and attention to minor details is required, narrow the zoom and focus on smaller areas. When an overall decision needs to be made, broaden your zoom and take in the wider picture and all related scenarios. Let not a single day pass without learning something new or without an act of kindness. Well-meaning advice, helpful attitude, reducing someone's pain or troubles, finding an easier solution to their problems, empathy and generosity will make you a very well-liked leader. As Steve Jobs says, don't sell products, sell dreams. The problem is that women are not yet as well-liked in leadership positions as men. This is because women have always taken the back seat and allowed men to lead. It is also because the concept of women and leadership is relatively new. In spite of laws regarding equal rights for men and women in all areas have been established, mental attitudes towards the implementation of these laws have only changed slightly. Women can redefine leadership for the future by following some basic principles and developing a moral code. Don't fall in the eyes of your people. Don't take it lightly. Don't walk all over their feelings, be it your parents, spouse, children, friends, or work colleagues. When you attain positions of power, have the best advisors and managers in your organizations. Invest in the best that you can afford. Businesses without good counselors and advisors and filled with bad managers go to swift destruction. Don't underestimate the power of your employees. The most timid of them can turn into two-legged beasts. Have contracts and policies in place and implement them. Empowerment of women begins with equal opportunities in being allowed to live safely, healthily, and happily. This requires mindsets of happily welcoming the female fetus and allowing them to grow and develop into robust girls, followed by allocating resources and time to their development and education, just as boys get. Power comes from education and skills, the ability to stand up for themselves and defend themselves, and understanding that they are special and an important part of the family, community, and the world. Power comes from confidence built as a result of growing competencies and achievements. It is strengthened by other people endorsing this need for empowerment. These other people are family, teachers, relatives, friends, organizations they work in, colleagues, the law around empowerment of women, and government policies. Access to resources such as funding for education, businesses, and personal development empower women by reducing the dependency and helplessness that so many women still experience because of lack of funds they require to take the steps they need. Equal access to resources, facilities, praise and guidance from parents, financial institutions, and government to pursue education or start businesses, equal push from schools and universities, equal pay and opportunities at workplaces, and equal expectations to succeed and grow as business leaders play a significant part in empowering women. Women in position should take charge of these principles and involve men in their agendas. Advantages of empowered women are plenty. Empowerment reduces the worry of parents about girls being raped and taken advantage of. Empowered girls are more vigilant and alert about their own safety. Better physical and mental health means less doctor's bills and better ability to help others. When girls are kept physically weak and undernourished, they can't perform the daily works with vigor and enthusiasm. They fall ill more often and are prone to depression with miseries on top of their helplessness. This comes back to parents who have to support them for even longer. Comparing women with men. Women have equal hunger, shyness, daring, and lust as compared to men. It varies from one decade of life to another depending on hormonal levels. A woman in her teens has different combination of hormones to women in their 20s, and women in their 40s and 50s have different concoctions of hormones influencing them than those in their 70s and 80s. Each phase brings with it different capabilities. Each of these experiences shape leadership qualities. Marry men who have the ability to be your boss as well as your secretary. That is, when you need him to support you and provide for you and your children, he pays you a generous living and funds for all of you. Also, when you need him to be supportive in other areas while you are making career leaps, he is your perfect secretary, happily making you a cup of tea or ironing your suits and driving you to meetings. Basically, marry someone who is flexible enough to fit around the world that you create at home and in relation to your profession. When it comes to marriage and relationships, empowered women are an asset to the husband and family in many ways. First of all, in cultures where dependence on men's earnings is a major factor in marriages, there is an imbalance in relationships. When men can marry women of any age, exploiting the fact that women need financial security, men risk not getting the real affection and respect. Men may be contributing financially and feeling the burden of that contribution. Very often that obligation makes them behave in ways that women can't appreciate. Women don't like to be doormats, don't like to be beaten, shouted at, ridiculed and ignored. This is the imbalance. When men who mistreat women can't experience true love, affection and respect that they feel they deserve, they feel emptiness in their relationships. They justify themselves by taking to alcohol, having affairs, or divorcing their wives. The threat of being divorced in certain cultures that encourage marriages of financial dependence on men creates tremendous insecurities in women, often leading to depression and suicide. These feelings become part of the family picture and affect the whole family. When women are empowered enough to contribute for themselves and their families, the equation shifts towards more respect and kindness showed to them. This kindness is then reciprocated by women and the family picture is happier. I am not advocating that men should not financially support their women. A happy family life wants men to be actively involved in the financial affairs that affects everyone's lives. By women being better able to contribute too, this burden is shared and relationships are better managed. Women would love their spouses and celebrate their marriages out of a higher sense of respect and regard for their men than mere financial dependence, and men would feel more valued for their other qualities rather than just a means of financial security for women. This will reduce imbalances such as very young girls being married off to unsuitable men. A better financial balance between men and women will also discourage prostitution. In society, empowered women are an asset. Financially independent women can help communities better than women engrossed in their own troubles of domestic violence, dependency, and debt. Relaxed, happy, energetic women can think clearly about issues facing their families and community. They can contribute more towards the care of their children and elderly. They are sturdy enough to withstand illnesses around them and can take active steps in the health and fitness of their community. This results in happier and fitter communities. In businesses, women leaders can bring their real strengths of collaboration, better communication, and excellent customer service. This creates more profitable businesses. Their inherent subservient natures maintain peace and harmony in organizations by better employee engagement and satisfaction. Their variety of perspectives on business matters, expressed in ways that touch so many aspects of complex business situations, bring remarkable options to boardroom discussions. Empowered women's sense of justice and fair play create better ethical values for businesses and their effect on communities and environment. There is a complex and fascinating relationship between power and soft skills needed at work. Power involves the ability to achieve goals while having a degree of hold over people and projects, whereas soft skills include sensitivity, courtesy, good manners, and politeness that are equally needed in workplaces. Women can combine both these forces in right amounts as they needed. The degree to which women business leaders can impose their ideas, plans, and evaluations on others successfully determines the power they have over them. This is manifested in people either reproducing what the leader wants or resisting the women leader. The resistance can be overcome by explaining works and issues in a less blatant and more collaborative manner. The main points should come across and be understood clearly. These should then be followed up to see if there was compliance or resistance. Passive resistance can be observed if the works are not started or taken on board very slowly, or no urgency is shown in completing tasks and achieving results. Some people resist directly by not cooperating. This is when positive persuasion becomes necessary. Giving incentives to those who work according to required vision, guidelines, and deadlines can increase productivity. Politeness helps in reducing the impact of an order that, when administered blatantly, can cause undue resistance. People in leadership position often use direct questions to elicit information. They have to reach a decision, sometimes in that hour of the meeting. Wasting time on politeness may delay important matters, yet women do make efforts to have some sort of small talk either before or after the meeting to soften the blow of an informative and a questioning punch. At workplace, colleagues may not be cooperative. They may show disrespect. They may challenge or be downright offensive in order to reduce the women leader's power. This may also be done in a more socially acceptable way, using sarcasm mixed with humor. This can make it difficult for the women leaders to react negatively to their comments or criticisms, as it might look out of place or make them lose face if they show frustration or confront the sarcastic humor. Some people use a good-tempered response to criticism by keeping the tone of the voice light and using words that convey the message without upsetting others. A good leader should understand the context in which the sarcastic remark was made, and rather than taking it personally, should evaluate where it comes from. That is it coming from jealousy, helplessness of employees, or team members being unhappy with that particular way of doing things? This should then lead to justified solutions where maximum people win. There are complexities involved when works have to be done. These involve tasks that are not done routinely. When a new task has to be explained to employees, it should not be explained directly as you would explain a routine task. A new and complex task requires more mitigation, more time to understand and be understood, and more time to be implemented. Less direct and more sympathetic tones are required here. Softening words such as please, sorry, and thank you with the right amount of empathy and smiles should do the trick. Women have learned through generations of subordinate existence and can handle unfair bosses without blowing their fuse. When the boss is unfair, try and turn the matter as a staff development issue or something more general involving more employees. This gives time for the unfair boss to review the situation in a different light with the view of benefiting the entire team or organization. When the boss knows that many people are involved in this issue and unfairness cannot continue, he or she will then find fairer ways of dealing with similar situations. Objectives have to be achieved while maintaining collegial relationships and constructing them. There is always some tension involved. These require more sensitive and subtle negotiations. This is where the art of women leaders can help them. If you are the chairperson of a meeting, it is your duty to ensure that the agenda is fully covered in the time frame. Learn to use appropriate monosyllables or very short and polite sentences to move on from a topic or to stay on a topic for further discussion. When decisions are finally made, they should appear like contributed by the entire team rather than just informing a certain decision. That is the purpose of meetings. Principle 7. Dynamic expansion. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. Mahatma Gandhi. Expand your communication skills to enhance effectiveness. By creating more harmonious working environments, women leaders can address performance issues constructively and deal effectively with stress levels. When women can spend less time doing what they already do and get those works done with ease and more productively, means it is time to expand their leadership. Doing the same job more effective will only make a small difference to your overall salary and position. If you have achieved high productivity in your teams through capable delegation and positive feedback, means you have the skills to ensure that people under your leadership achieve what you set them to achieve in a positive way. You are a leader if you feel the responsibility of achieving goals and objectives through people. Women's roles as mothers have instilled in them the knack of understanding the core of people. They can read minds. This increases their ability to influence and deliver. They have the ability to create the right outcomes through highly effective communications. These skills help women behave flexibly and tailor their approaches towards better control. Women business leaders can achieve balance between business imperative and personal commitment. Expansion means putting themselves firmly in control of wider territories, bigger teams, higher positions, and greater income for themselves and their businesses. It also means expanding their minds and invite new learning and bolder initiatives. Mind can be expanded with exposure to new ways of thinking, doing things and experiences. They can get a taste of what they are capable of by pushing their limits and encouraging their teams to push their limits. To wholeheartedly pursue a hobby or a talent can also help expand your capacities. Many careers have developed and become successful as a result of a hobby or a talent. Practice is key. The one who wins has simply out-practiced others. Rehearsals bring great results. To allocate time and energy, to prioritize that particular habit or talent over other distractions, and to single-mindedly improve oneself in these areas will soon result in many people appreciating that talent or hobby and you being able to earn a living from it. The more specialized you become, the higher price you can fetch. You can then hire bigger places to trade or increase your online presence. Online businesses have expanded rapidly in the last 15 to 20 years. There are opt-in boxes where people can leave their email addresses in exchange of a small gift, such as a video or an ebook. These prospects can then be turned into clients with necessary advertisements through their inboxes. List of people interested in various topics or businesses can be bought or sold, and online businesses can expand in a matter of days. You need to be careful with confidentiality issues nowadays. But you can go viral worldwide if you choose to. There are facilities available these days such as Amazon, PayPal, eBay, and other sites that people trust with their credit cards, debit cards, or accounts such as PayPal account. You don't need to restrict your business to your website with payment accepting facilities. Chances are that people who stumble upon your website may not have the intention to buy, or maybe they were just browsing for information. Even if they like what you sell on your website, they may not feel comfortable to give you their credit card details to someone they don't know much about. Combining with famous outlets such as Amazon or ClickBank, you can have more customers buying your products or services worldwide. You will be required to share the profits, but then the number of sold items is far more than from individual websites. This is how women can scrutinize their niches and select what they are good at and what will help them expand their businesses to the level that truly make them business leaders. Aiming high each time and raising the bar of standards will keep you and your products in international markets for longer. The business environment is constantly and rapidly changing. You need to make your profits while remaining fair to all parties and maintaining the environment and communities. Act according to the demands of your business situations. When the pressure is high and business is going through milestones of completions, launches and expansions, through mergers and acquisitions, fierce competition, lawsuits, or fighting a disaster, leadership is most wanted. Men were thought of as better leaders in cases of turnarounds in business, and women were allowed leadership positions when businesses were steadier. Now, more women are proving their abilities in times of crisis and expansions. Leaders must get their hands dirty from time to time. Don't depend on managers for everything. Get involved in the nitty-gritty of administration. Go to all levels and experience what employees and customers expect and give. As more women leaders in business, as chief executive officers or managing directors start earning a higher wage, they face challenges as to why they get paid a much higher wage than those working below them. Women should feel confident to explain that men in these roles have always had a certain level of salary and benefits because they are ultimately responsible for the business making the profit, achieving targets, paying other employees, and getting paid after everything else has been paid for, especially if they are major shareholders of the businesses. The money invested may be yours if you are a major shareholder and therefore you receive a bigger leverage in terms of a higher wage or bonus. Businesses have to ensure that all employees are paid at the right time and given all appropriately contracted benefits. The leader invests time, effort, and risks their necks when something goes wrong. They take ultimate responsibility for all stakeholders of their business, and that is compensated in their higher wages. Fundraising can become necessary for business leaders. Know all your sources for raising funds to begin, maintain, and expand your business. Have good relations with banks and other lenders. Always be fair and transparent. Make clear and detailed business plans and revisit your business plans every year. This will enable you to make necessary changes to your business activities. Your business partners include your taxman, lenders, and shareholders. Prepare annual reports to update all stakeholders of your business, that is, all parties interested in and having a stake in your business. As you expand in your business leadership, don't lose out on personal life. Maintain a blissful atmosphere at home. Don't lose the sweetness of your words and the melody in your tone or voice. Use your wealth to satisfy your needs and those of your family members. Be generous to your housekeeper, gardener, and all those who maintain your house and take away the chores to free your time. Show hospitality to friends and family in spite of busy schedules. Host at least one gathering a year while you can catch up with family and friends. Once every 3 to 4 months is even better. Women business leaders may not have the time to entertain guests every week due to business pressures and the need to relax and preserve their energies. As you increase your leadership duties, there will be opportunities for more travel, meeting different types of people in different countries, differences of opinions leading to some conflict. You will continuously have to find answers to new questions and resolutions for new conflicts. So develop the ability of quietly reflecting on matters of business interests as well as conflicts and guide your impulsive responses. Guard your impulsive responses. You will get opportunities to learn a new language. Go for it. Discussions with people of different backgrounds can prove to be very interesting and add a lot of different perspectives to your business situations. This is what women do when they represent board meetings. They bring a different perspective to the same issues when discussed by male board members alone. Talking with business people all over the world can show you different ways of doing the same business. You then have a wider choice and selection. The synergies of ideas and input can magnify your business surprisingly. For example, when a drug company making 7 products in Germany buys a smaller drug company in America making 3 products, their portfolios of 10 drugs can then have far greater advantage of markets, finances, and resources than if the 2 companies existed as separate entities. Similarly, if a company A has a turnover of $4 million and a company B has a turnover of £3 million, when they merge, they can have a turnover of an equivalent of £9 million or $14 million. This is how your leadership can also expand, leveraging the qualities. This is how your leadership can also expand, leveraging the qualities from other countries and other leaders to synergistically enhance your leadership abilities and values. Principle 8. Robust teams. A woman's contribution to her children and family are known by most of us. That is the background to work upon. Women further extend themselves into society by looking after their neighborhoods, other children, and the elderly, and their friends. They need resources, including money, to be able to meet everybody's needs. For women who had no income, this money was provided by husband, father, some form of legacy by elders, charities, or institutional supports. Women eventually started inheriting their husband's money, including the husband's pension when he died. Laws have changed, giving equal status to women in the 20th century, and women have equal rights in income and property owned by couples in the West, with exception to prenuptial contracts and agreements. As more women started getting educated, they contributed by teaching others, working as secretaries, and starting their own businesses. They contributed wholeheartedly to those changes. These were secretaries who practically ran the show and got paid less than a manager who only overlooked the show. There are teachers who contribute to the mindsets of the country and look after the precious children in their care only to be paid a minimal amount. Slowly, women began to realize that their wages don't match their contributions. In businesses, there are employment contracts to begin with, but then there are changes to work structures. Women are expected to adopt those new skills and more changes in work without the incentive of equal promotions as men. The incremental pay rise according to inflation rate is not enough incentive for talented women to keep their foot on the gas pedal. They then see other fulfilling activities such as getting married, raising children, and having or working part-time. Although some women are fully content with these lifestyles, statistics show that more women want to join the workforce. Statistics show that more women want to join the workforce to work full-time and have exciting business careers just like men. In 2012, the Women's Business Council, set up to advise Government of UK about women's contributions, aims to focus on areas of greatest potential economic benefit for businesses that have more women in leadership. The estimated potential gains are likely to be around 10% of GDP by 2030 if workforces are equalized, that is, same number of men as women working. According to Ruby McGregor Smith, CBE, Chair of the Women's Business Council in the UK, there are over 2.4 million women who are not in work but want to work, and over 1.3 million women who want to increase the number of work hours they work. This shows a need to unblock this mismatch and enhance economic growth in the UK. Full capitalization on the skills and the talents of men and women equally. Fully capitalizing on the skills and talents of men and women equally, the economic situation can be improved. Business cultures embracing flexible working and better support for working parents will allow more women to contribute their talents. To remain competitive globally, each country needs to create a national skills base that can meet the demand of a global market. As a working mother with 4 children, I understand the challenges of balancing work and raising family. I choose to write books on women in leadership so that we can discuss the barriers that real working women face, respecting the choices of mothers who decide to stay at home completely. We must move on in the process of providing more families for those who want to contribute to the economy in other ways too. Women at home do not necessarily mean that they are not contributing. Love and care for children is most important. However, there are women who would like to work from home when their children are at school. Flexible working can allow these women to reduce commuting time and give them hope that they will be able to join the career ladder at their own pace while working from home fully or partially. Economy can be improved also by supporting more women in setting up their own businesses. At every stage of their career, women need opportunities to learn skills that develop and help them and contribute in a dynamic business environment. Researchers have shown a link between high performance and gender diversity. Just as a family with diversities in personalities of fathers, mothers bring more qualities on the family table, in the same way, diverse ways of thinking and working of men and women can contribute to businesses and governments. Parents who bring up children with affection and love can see different perspectives from a male point of view and a female point of view. This helps in shaping their personalities in a broader way and gives children more options to choose from. They see many more angles to same situations or problems. Diversity at top levels in business can help in analyzing business matters from many more perspectives and help strengthen strategies and policies, taking more aspects under the umbrella. Strengthening strategies on regular basis and remaining flexible in competitive global market are both equally important to businesses. Women can challenge some group decisions made by men and vice versa. These challenges should be taken positively to arrive at better overall decisions and celebrated that they have left no stone unturned. Think of a wedding ceremony where only men decide and execute every part of the function. Would it be as interesting as a function where both men and women have equally participated and contributed to make it more interesting and entertaining for the couple getting married and all their guests? Businesses with more diverse workforces are stronger performers, better at supporting individual employees and stakeholders' needs, and more attuned to their customer base. Those employers and businesses that recognize this are ahead of their competition. Women are indispensable to modern day businesses because of the significant experience, insight, and commitment they bring to the table. Women's experiences as mother or homemakers builds in her the qualities that businesses can benefit from: the organizational skills, the prioritizing, the communication skills, and the soft skills that women specialize in while handling family situations, when brought into businesses, help to increase those GDP figures. The attention to detail, the respect for others, and the values that women uphold help achieve the business vision and goals. The patience with which women listen to children and family members when brought in business scenarios can help put clients, financiers, suppliers, and shareholders' minds at rest about why their business has taken a certain decision or a particular stand. Women can demonstrate it better as they use more words and take more time and effort to explain strategies and business plans clearly. Women are resourceful. Centuries of struggle to make ends meet for their families, that is, making sure that all requirements are fulfilled with limited access to money, has taught women how to use every dollar, every pound, every rupee or yen wisely. This has exercised women's minds to the extent that go extra miles to search for the best deals and best quality for their money. Women have always been grateful for the money they got, as they knew that at some point the supply could diminish or stop altogether. This has kept them on their toes about not misusing resources and saving appropriately. Women in businesses should be judged after considering these qualities and not just as a direct comparison of what they can do using a male yardstick. Nature has given a combination of male and female hormones in each one of us. There are differences in proportions, but women have it all in them and can rise to the demands of the situation. Society. Social situations are better understood by women. An example: there are trustees in mosques, temples, churches, and the places of worship who are men. Men also preach and lecture about religion, recite verses from holy books, and explain the meanings within the scriptures to large groups of people. These are men who have spent many years of their lives in religious activities, but when it comes to men who don't pursue religion with such intensity, their knowledge and understanding of religion is the same as a woman who don't pursue it. This shows that if a woman were to develop their abilities to preach and spend the same amount of years in training, women could lead religious activities too and become trustees of places of worship. Yet there are very few women leading in these areas. Rather than generalizing issues, women have the knack of analyzing minor details about problems in society and isolating the main causes of those issues. Because women spend so much time talking to each other and to people in general, they allocate enough time and energy in all aspects of social issues necessary for proper understanding, analysis, and evaluation of these issues. Women can derive appropriate conclusions and find answers to specific problems. Opportunities given to women to raise aspirations and to allow talented women to reach their long term potentials will ultimately improve their talent pipeline and drive economic growth. This will put economies in positions for success. The issues faced by women today should be resolved in 10 years, allowing more girls to make better choices. By selecting subjects at school that will help girls become future business leaders, schools and parents lay the right foundations. Girls can choose business studies, marketing, science, maths, technology, and international languages. When women need career breaks to have children, they should have full choice of continuing their progress from home after a set maternity leave and given more flexibility about working hours and commuting or working from home. Employers should routinely provide help with childcare costs, which becomes an issue for talented mothers in many countries. Changing company structures and caring responsibilities of mothers should not conflict or create situations where women lose out on their promotions. Changing company structures and caring responsibilities of mothers should not conflict or create situations where women lose out on their promotions. Last 50 years have seen the benefits from increased participation of women in economic activity. Women's lifestyle has changed in terms of financial independence, personal development, and social status. This has become increasingly clear and accepted in many nations. Forward-thinking companies have seen the tangible business benefits that come from ensuring that women enjoy the same opportunities for meaningful work and career development as men. Schools can help create more women leaders by identifying female role models and getting them to speak at school functions. Encouraging more teachers to accept information about their local and national labour markets and its skills needs can help teachers pass useful career information to girls and help them make better choices of subjects at school level. Schools should encourage children to take on work placements around age 16, and companies should help this process by offering work placements or time in business to help teachers and students develop their understanding of business skills and business needs. Business schools and other universities should work in stronger partnerships with companies to develop high-quality work experience opportunities. Universities and schools should encourage more volunteers from businesses to take part in inspiring female students to become entrepreneurs and set high career goals. How women can contribute to other women. Women's contributions don't just involve women, even if they try to do it exclusively. It always involves benefits to men, children, and families. By supporting other women in getting proper education, job opportunities, promotions, providing networks, acting as mentors and role models, women in leadership can make the battlefield for other women more bearable. If leading women realize that 1 hour of their earnings, time, advice, or persuasion can make a big difference in other women's lives, then these business leaders should start by contributing 1 hour each week to improving other women's careers, other women's lives. If they are too busy, they can donate 1 hour's wage for the cause and allow other responsible and well-meaning women to take over the works. I talk to women on a daily basis. I talk to women on a daily basis. I am proud of women in the UK who adopt a girl in Nigeria and support her to get a good education, for example. These work colleagues who regularly contribute to charities are not very rich themselves and have to make choices about spending their money or make their own ends meet, and yet they contribute to a wide range of causes. They contribute generously because they feel emotionally responsible for these sisters who may speak a different language or have a different ethnic background to theirs, and yet they try to connect with them positively. Each village, town, and city should have women's networks that encourage all women to meet regularly, discuss issues, and provide support. These issues could range from domestic violence to physical, emotional, and financial abuse to exploitation at work or at workplaces to job opportunities to training or mentoring to acting as role models and letting other women know how they did it. Taking the shame out of reporting cases of abuse and dealing with issues confidentially and sensitively, to adopting children that are neglected, to helping the sick and the elderly, to guiding their sons, brothers, and partners in supporting women and families, to acting as representatives of multinational businesses, to running huge enterprises and leading countries are only a few examples of women's contributions to society and businesses. Women will prove themselves as excellent leaders in reducing wars between nations and disputes in markets. They will see the overall good, where there will be more winning parties rather than one person getting all the loot. With high ethical values and working with a sense of collaboration, women contribute to creating perfect societies and businesses. To enhance creativity, be a part of a high performing team, the synergy created with high quality thinking and good quality work of many talented team members sums up far bigger than individual talents put together. Brilliant communication is absolutely necessary for robust teams. Nobody likes aggressive behavior, assertive behavior. Assertive behavior is also not in fashion these days. You have to be clear, warm, sincere, with a normal tone of voice, not too loud and not too quiet, firm, steady pace of talk with some pauses to gauge reaction, open reactions such as a smile and frown according to the situation are acceptable. Sit upright and relaxed and pay attention to everyone with respect to time and agenda. Women are better at sharing power within their teams by discussing, consulting, and informing everyone. They do talk more than men do. They follow up messages to make sure that they are properly understood. For example, an order or a directive given to an employee should be analyzed in relation to the context and how it is conveyed. Allowing the employee to speak and convey what they have understood help avoid misunderstandings. This is often required for proper division of responsibilities. Leading great enterprises requires building and managing great teams. Extraordinary teams are indispensable when big goals have to be realized. Women business leaders need to articulate very clear business vision and lay out clear objectives and strategies. They will need to connect with all team members. Leaders have to ensure that everyone understands their role and demonstrate their ability to do the job well. Women leaders need to ensure that all team members are aware that they will be held accountable. They have to determine how every member's contribution will be recognized so that they can be appropriately rewarded. Experts in the team and those who run extra miles will need special appreciation and acknowledgement of their contributions. This can be in the form of pay rises, bonuses, promotions, or transfers of their choices. These may include flexible working for men and women, paid leave for family works, shares in businesses, referrals, pensions, or board representation. Women can extract through appropriate, gentle, and articulate probing what a particular employee values more and can use that as an incentive to encourage good work. By extensively counseling and consulting at every stage and keeping everyone informed about the goals and progress, a successful and collaborative relationship can be developed in your team. Team spirit, motivation, and productivity play a key role in the performance of organizations. This is where leadership is most needed. Building strong teams requires defining appraisals. Proper frameworks for mentoring and coaching need to be in place. Appraisals need to be conducted without undue stress. Effective communication and feedback will help in managing negativity towards appraisals. These appraisals help create effective personal development plans and help to set up effective mentoring systems. These are the tools for stretching and growing staff through supported goals. The organization can then utilize the growing staff more effectively. Women leaders can be highly involved in applying key performance principles by constructively appraising their teams, giving positive feedback, and developing effective mentoring relationships. Stretching and growing is a continuous process. Everyone does not stretch and grow equally. Women leaders can then design strategies to manage poor performance by developing a supportive culture. By assessing people's motivation, these leaders can influence them to desired actions. Understanding different personality types and gearing the mentoring process according to individual needs can help leaders achieve best results. Women in leadership should be able to work intensely and productively with secretaries and delegate works to other team members appropriately. This will increase time that women are able to spend with their families. Management styles need to be flexible to increase effectiveness. This is needed to keep the team spirit and morale high even under difficult circumstances. By constantly focusing on and establishing the attributes of high performance, strong teams can be created by leading women. This can be done by setting directions and gaining commitments to the tasks. Women leaders need to ensure that everyone works in the same direction by gaining power and ownership. Energetic and well-directed efforts will keep everyone involved. Mastering management communications, women leaders can aspire the desired action from team members. All communications have to be clear to enable smooth working with management and administration. Difficult team members will need to be engaged through consultation, negotiation, and performance reviews. Principle 9. Generous contributions. With increasing age, there can be a considerable increase in experience quantity, but without much diversity. Women aiming leadership positions must take on positions that give them diverse experiences. They must learn to throw themselves at opportunities that take them beyond the framework of their current talents. Prejudices about the age of female employees discourage the participation of older females in formal learning and development programs. Beliefs that they are less mobile or less flexible and can't deal with rapid changes occurring in organizations result in lower support and encouragement given to older females to take on further challenges or trainings to face these challenges. Women become targets to such prejudices and remain underrepresented in most forms of these training and education programs. They also receive less support and encouragement from supervisors and colleagues at work when engaging in learning and development activities. So leaving the career for decades can push women behind in the competition for higher management positions where selections are made through the optimal use of required competences. There are certain measurement tools of employability at each level of employment. If men and women can't fulfill those criteria, they can't be selected. Most of these measurement tools are based on previous models of men holding these positions. This makes it even harder for capable women to get selected as they have not previously demonstrated experiences in exactly the same scenarios as men have. Women have grown competencies in other areas of equal importance, and so the measurement tools for selection should be based on what women can contribute to the business as a whole and bring results rather than judging them with the same yardstick as men of previous generation. By the time women reach middle management level, they are already demonstrating leadership qualities such as taking initiative, delegating, analyzing and deriving conclusions, holding and chairing meetings regularly, keeping abreast with latest developments in their businesses and about their competitors, talking empathetically and powerfully as needed, contextualizing their communications, providing excellent customer service, understanding their customers' needs, collaborating with and leading great teams, showing flexibility and growth. As more women customers grow all over the world, businesses will have to understand women's shopping needs and mindsets. Women leaders understand needs of other women and can frame company policies around what products and services will help most women in their areas and how business will grow profitably around these needs. Keeping the customer in mind is most important for businesses. With more women having the power to purchase for their households, businesses have understood women's attitudes towards spending, and fashion trends will be able to capitalize on women customers' needs and wants more smartly if they have more women leading their businesses. Women shop for themselves, their children, their pets, elderly parents, and relatives, for schools, nurseries, and institutions run by women or run for the benefit of women. As more women go out and work, they have access to more shopping money for their families. More women have money for things and activities that were regarded as luxuries in the past, such as good cars, which have become more necessities of today. Household items, mobile phones, televisions, computers, and all the related gadgets, everything sold in supermarkets these days are the usual items that women buy. Men spend less time over shopping and are less distracted about buying things outside of their lists. Women make a list and yet come home buying a lot of extra things as well. These days, women spend a lot more money than in the 20th century. They spend on products such as foods, clothes, toiletries, cosmetics, jewelry, furniture, household things, houses, offices, cars, health insurances, entertainment, sports equipment, medicines, and healthcare products. You name it. With this access to finance and ability to shop more each decade, women are the best customers. They are the most generous contributors to the economy by keeping everything moving in markets. Women travel more, take more holidays abroad, pamper themselves more, and also lead spiritual activities. Satisfied women customers can do a lot of word of mouth advertising and promotion of products and services as they talk more over the phone, in social gatherings, and spend time on social network sites. Businesses that realize that most of their profits come from female customers are quick to appoint women business leaders because women in top management can articulate their products and services according to other women's needs, that is, their main customers' needs. Increasing abilities shown by women who are eager for promotions include running the extra mile, traveling to new places, exploring new markets and products, willingness to work hard and long hours have resulted in some companies taking on women on their boards. However, there are visible and invisible biases that cannot be overlooked. Despite more women getting higher education and working at entry levels and middle management levels, there are fewer women leading businesses at topmost levels because of mindsets and behaviors within companies and among women themselves. These prejudices prevent more women from advancing to leadership positions. Through better communication skills, women leaders can outline their management roles clearly. Women have generally been accommodating and flexible. This flexibility of approach helps to improve effectiveness. Women can structure their teams for maximum performance and hence contribute generously to the profits of companies and economies of nations. Women-led businesses show more appreciation of their teams and have more discussions, along with setting high standards and positive examples from team members, creating positive actions and commitment in employees and business partners. The lack of role models, weak inclusion in informal networks, and lack of sponsors in upper management to create more opportunities for women have contributed in keeping the number of women leaders in businesses lower than required. Women have proved that they can lead just as well as men in consumer-oriented companies and organizations with a largely female workforce. Principle 10. Legacy that you leave behind. Your legacy is what you will leave behind after you retire. This will be measured by your influence on people, what you achieved for yourself and your businesses, circumstances you improved in businesses for other women and workers on the whole, your contribution to your communities, your leadership about environmental issues, and the mark you make in the marketplace. What will you be remembered for and admired for most? The reasons why people wanted to join your company, the reasons why they wanted to work with you as a business partner or be a part of your enterprise is a legacy you leave behind. Your authenticity and credibility, your values and clarity, your sharp vision and the way you led them, the changes that you made in yourself to change the world will be appreciated most when you leave. Most of us come to a point in life when, although fairly comfortable, the whole life so far wasn't enough to realize our dreams. You look around and feel that you have everything: houses, family, university degrees, cars, businesses, holidays, you name it. Then there is the other side where you may have mortgages, credit card bills, someone alcoholic or on drugs, addicts in the family, someone suffering a serious illness, little in terms of savings, and all your assets are hanging on thin grounds. This may make you realize that you haven't got much to show for yourself or leave behind after all those years of struggle and hardship. Legacy that women will leave behind after a rich and varied career as business leaders will be the inspiration for more women to take up such leadership roles rather than be put off by all the work. Good behavior has always been valued. There is no substitute to decency. These excellent qualities will earn you great respect. The higher up you go in your career and positions, more refined should be your choice of words and tone of voice. You can command respect and exude authority in a calm and confident manner. Learn to guard your wealth. Have systems in place that will make it harder for others to have access to what is truly yours and cannot easily infringe upon your property or your privacy. Do not go or stay where you are not respected, where you can't be financially independent, where you can't have friends, and where you can't keep learning. Unnecessary quarrels, sarcasm, ridicule, and a tendency to upset people for little or no reason, whether at home or at workplace, brings unnecessary grief. You are already on the path to becoming a great leader if you have a balanced mind, mercy in your heart, contentment in your life, and a will to improve life and situations for others. Belief in yourself and reciprocated in those you lead will drive you to new heights of leadership. Enhance your personal beauty by moral excellence. Ensure your success with learning and grow your wealth by proper spending. Acquiring knowledge and wealth takes time. People who have not pursued these activities don't understand the hardships of those who have sacrificed sleep, rest, leisure, comforts, and other pleasurable distractions to achieve qualifications, skills, positions, and bank balance. Relatives of wealthy leaders often expect generous gifts and interest-free loans without any obligations to pay back. This happens with family members, distant relatives, and friends. Any gifts, loans, or charities made should be clearly explained so. A loan given with a view of a payback should be supported by clear contracts and witnesses, involve solicitors wherever necessary. A benevolent nature attracts immense wealth. There are proofs given by advocates of the law of attraction saying that you can attract into your life immense wealth, including everything else you need, if you focus on it positively and involve your emotions. The advocates of the law of reciprocity confirm that if you give, you will receive more than you gave. People feel the emotional burden of giving back and often end up reciprocating the favors with bigger returns. Those who use these laws in their businesses see more wealth and support coming their way. More people are ready to help them and their businesses grow even faster. Women can easily use these laws in their businesses and improve their businesses and their profits. Value for money, saving money, and making sure that there is enough wealth around you all the time will put you in a better position, because wealth does add extra layers of comfort and security. When women business leaders make their will, it includes equal distribution of wealth to all their children and to other people who have contributed to their life and their works. Now that women business leaders will own far more money, property, businesses, land, jewelry, and similar things compared to women of previous generations did after their death, their wealth will not be restricted to their family but extend to whoever helped them, wholeheartedly and also include their pet projects and pet charities. At every decade of their lives, starting from their 30s, women business leaders will need to sit down with solicitors and prepare fresh wills to include new people in their lives or remove the old ones as appropriate. This is also necessary to include the new wealth acquired or delete properties and businesses they have sold in order to move or to expand. There will be enough wealth left behind if women lead businesses. In spite of vigilant wealth distribution and paperwork, there will be issues that cause friction between relatives and organizations after her death. You can only do your best while you're still alive. When strength leaves the body, when old age replaces beauty, when aches and pains become a part of days and nights, it is time to retire. Don't hold on to positions. Don't hold on to positions that you can't maintain. Relinquish the throne gracefully. Find time to sleep and relax more. Reduce work hours gradually. Assign more jobs to your deputy and levels below you. Announce to everyone concerned that you will be retiring soon. Give them a chance to adjust around your loss. Increase your social life and your reliance on family and friends. Start giving your inheritance in small amounts in exchange of care duties. Old age is long and can be a bit of a misery for you and those who take care of you. Be patient and don't take unnecessary risks. Allow others to look after you and give back to you by looking after you in your old age with love and dignity. Your legacy will not be restricted to financial gifts that people receive. They will benefit from your good qualities of hard work, the examples of good business practice, and your courage. They will define leadership and management differently after reading your life story or knowing you in person. The principles you followed will generate further discussions and analysis by men and women. These exercises will help them become fairer in their businesses and their dealings, more generous in their attitudes, and help in expanding their biggest organ, their minds. There is a genius in every woman who believes that she can lead. Liberate that genie because you have the ability to solve any problem. Capitalize on every opportunity and create many cycles of positive changes where no challenges are insurmountable. Conclusion: developing a dynamic entrepreneurial culture where more women have the ambition, confidence, opportunities, skills, networks, access to finance, role models, and encouragement to start and grow their businesses will increase women's participation in these changing economic times and is vital to creating a strong entrepreneurial economy. Appreciation of the qualities that women bring to business tables without sarcasm, mockery, or ridicule, but with wholehearted welcome and appreciation, will put an end to this struggle about gender imbalance that is still being debated. Thank you. Thank you for listening to this ebook. It's been a great pleasure reading this. Please share with your friends, family. Use it as a tool to fall asleep. If you use headphones and listen to this ebook, you will fall asleep and you will take in some principles in your sleep. So please subscribe, share, and like. Thank you so much. Bye.